Welcome to Indy's Real Estate Gurus. We are recording today from the Advisors Mortgage Studio located in the intersection of Maine and Guilford in beautiful Carmel, Indiana. And this is actually our second show with Lexi Inman. And so let's go through, and I know you just got your license, what, April?
Yeah, April.
Awesome. So, and are you still looking for your first one? Your first deal and everything?
So I currently have my first buyer. I'm really excited. My sister referred her to me. So we're just trying to get her pre-approved right now. After that, we're going to go through what she's looking for. And she's through Greenfield, so I know the area pretty well. So I'm excited for that one.
That's awesome. I think most people don't realize that even when you contact a real estate agent, the first thing to do is still you got to get pre-approved.
Yes.
Now, the nice thing is if you do contact a real estate agent, they know the right people to send you to. So, so how did that work when your sister referred that person to you?
Yeah, so she just gave her my phone number. I asked her if she's been pre-approved yet. She said no. She said she's been through a buying process with somebody else before, but it didn't make it through. So I just referred her to one of the lenders that we use. And I told her after that pre-approval, we'll look at how many bedrooms she wants, bathrooms, size of the home we're at, and her price range with the pre-approval.
Yeah. And so let me ask you this question. I know the answer, and I just want to see how you say it. Why is it important to get pre-approved prior to you going showing a bunch of homes?
So the important part of a pre-approval is that's how much you're going to have to afford a home. So we don't want to look at something that is going to go above your budget, fall in love with it, and then that's something that you can't afford. So we definitely want to find something in the buyer's price range that they love.
Yeah. Like most people know from listening to the show, I used to do cars earlier, yeah. And it's interesting that people come in for a certain car, and let's say it's roughly about 15 grand. And then they'll see this BMW or this Mercedes or whatever for like 25, and they'll be like, oh, I like that one instead. I'm like, yeah, but you got to keep your eye on the price. You got to know what you can afford, because that other car is $200-300 extra a month, and that's great that you put them in the right perspective from the get-go. I know you're waiting on that pre-approval from them, which is awesome, and hopefully everything goes well, and then we can follow the steps on searching for a home and everything like that. So let's go back. I know in the first episode we were talking about you going through your test and everything.
Yeah.
So for people who thinking about possibly doing it, what does this? Is it one test? Is it multiple tests? And how is it all set up? Or are there study groups or something?
Yeah. So there is two different tests. There's a state portion and a national portion of the test. The state portion, personally, I felt was easier than the national portion. The national portion took me a few times to take. It is all multiple choice. There are some math questions on each one. I think the math was the hardest part of the test. It's something that you haven't done it since high school, so it's hard. But the biggest part of it was you're used to normally 4 multiple choice questions. This had 6 to 8. And there were 2 correct answers, but one was the most correct to get more points. And I feel like the questions, if there was one little word that was different, it changed the whole thing. I did join some study groups on Facebook, which I felt were really helpful. Also, Prep Agent on YouTube helped me cram stuff in last minute before the test.
That's awesome. Because I did the same rough thing. I mean, luckily ours it had math. Don't get me wrong. Our whole job considers it math. But it was like 150 multiple questions, but there are only 4. And there wasn't this, oh, well, one might be right, but this one would be brighter. I'm like, what are we talking about here, people?
Yeah.
That's what I would have been like if I'm taking that test.
That was the hardest part. I was like, this seems correct. This also seems correct, but maybe this word doesn't make it as correct as the other answer.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the national had 80 questions and the state had about 50 questions.
And do you have to continue? So now that you have your license, do you have to do continual education, or what they call CE?
Yes, you do have to do those within the first 2 years after getting your license. I believe it's 12 credit hours of extra.
Yeah. Ours is 8 here in Indiana. Okay. I do have to say Indiana because if you go to other states, it's a lot more. So like if you go to California or Florida, they have a lot more laws. Too many more people trying to break them.
Yeah.
So what is your game plan, let's say, for the next month? Do you really have one? Where are you setting up? I know you got this one that you're your fingers are crossed and you're waiting hopefully for a good approval.
Yeah, still just trying to get my name out there. I'm planning on marketing my neighborhood because I've seen a bunch of houses up for sale, and I'm like, oh, I wish I would have gotten to them. Plan on marketing my neighborhood. Probably going to do another event that passes out my business cards there in town. I'm also doing the charity event at Hancock Wellness, so that'll be good to people to come in, donate food, and get to know me.
Yeah. So are you able to put your business cards on? All right. So hold on. I don't think we've had this conversation. So where do you work at prior? I mean, I know not prior, but while you're still trying to get going.
Yeah, I work at Hancock Wellness in New Pal. It's a gym. It's a wellness center there.
Okay. So while you're at the desk, are you able to put your business cards on the front?
So I had them on the front. I was not allowed to put them on the front, so they are taken down now. But we do have a community board that has my business card on it, which is nice that they let me do that. And they also let me do a cupcake event there where I passed out business cards, so that was nice as well.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because any exposure is good exposure right now. So I know you plan on doing the charity event, which is awesome. So is that going to be for with you trying to put out your name?
It wasn't that to the start, but a lot of people have said, after I had told them about the charity event, it is a good way to get my name out there. I did charity events in high school. I was always in clubs where I did charity events, and I went last week and donated to the homeless shelter there in Greenfield, and I just thought I would like to do a charity event. I think it's good because as a real estate agent, you meet a lot of people, and so those connections can help other people.
And it's just not about you, it's about the charity.
Yeah.
But I will say this, is a lot of the top agents do it, and it's basically giving back. Like especially around Thanksgiving, you'll see people giving out turkeys or Thanksgiving dinners, and Christmas they give out hams and stuff like that. So don't feel bad about it. It's just one of those things, and you just don't make it about you to a point, but you still make it somewhat about you.
Yeah, my mom does that, where each transaction she'll donate part of it to somebody else who needs it more, and that's something that I would like to do once I start selling houses.
Yeah, gotta get going first.
Yeah, gotta get going first. Gotta sell something first. But
so let's go into the whole. If this lady does get approved, what is your next step?
So my next step, actually Margie, one of my managing brokers, showed it to me, was a buyer information sheet, which I think is so smart to have for all of your buyers, because you put in how many rooms they want, if they have any specific things like backyard, garage, what they're approved for, if they're renting now, how long, things like that. So that'll be my next step, is going into what exactly she's looking for, so we can find her the perfect home for her.
No, and that's a good thing, because one, you have it in front of you.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, is right now when you have one person, it's easy to memorize. When you have 10 to 12, and you're like, wait, was this the person looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, or is this person that needed 7 bedrooms? So that is nice to have that sheet.
Yeah.
So why does it matter? You mentioned renting. Why does it matter how long somebody is still renting?
So if they're currently renting, we'll have to wait until their lease is up until we can find something, or if they're going to pay out of the lease, things like that. So I just want to make sure that all of that is settled before we get into a new house.
Yeah. No, it's the same thing we do here. So for instance, if let's say you just renewed your lease for a year. Well, guess what? Unless you're going to pay out of it, you got 12 months.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I tell people. Within the last 4 to 5 months, get pre-approved and let's start looking. Because it's going to take a month or two to get listed. And then it's going to take a month. And then the nice thing is like when my wife and I, we were renting and we bought our home. So we had 1 month that I could go paint walls, do everything I need to, and I can slowly move in.
Yeah.
You don't know how much that helped out dramatically. So I do recommend that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are completely correct that, that's the reason why the months matter, is because you don't want to be making double payments.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's get to know you a little bit more. So when you're not selling real estate and when you're not doing your working at the gym, what are you doing for fun?
Normally working out or reading. I really like to spend time with my family. We have game nights all of the time. I'm a really big family person. So just got a new nephew, so I've been hanging out over there with him for the past few weeks. But really just family time, reading, going to the gym. Awesome.
So I bet you can beat him in any board game right now.
Yeah, the newborn. Yeah, That is true.
So what's your favorite game?
That's tough. I really like the Harry Potter Trivial Pursuit that I just got, but you can only play it with a few people because not that many people know that much about Harry Potter. But I also really like Catan. That's a big family one we play is Catan.
And if you're not familiar, Catan is a little bit more advanced than Risk.
Yeah.
And like I played it when my dad and a couple of his buddies, we all played it and everything, but that will take you for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. We have the expansion pack for it too. So we'll play with like the whole 6 people. It's a big family game night.
Yeah. I'm waiting until my kids can understand games like that. Right now we're still playing the little games and they got a little bit more advanced ones, or at least out of Candyland and stuff like that. Cause those were really boring.
They have a kids Catan. They got a juniors Catan.
There is one called Andor. Which is
I've heard of it.
It's one you actually work as a team with 4 people, and it's actually really fun.
Okay.
There's a kids version which I got for my kids and they loved it.
Yeah.
But then there's an adult version which is harder, which is I haven't played that one yet because I'm waiting for my kids to get older. But I do think family game nights is a great thing for families because it keeps you together and it makes you think.
Yeah, we've always done it. I have a huge family, a lot of siblings, so we're all very close, and that's what we do is we play games every week normally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, Lexi, I'd like to thank you again for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We'll have you here in about a month, and hopefully we'll be showing homes and selling homes.
Hopefully we'll get more buyers and sellers. I'm ready.
Yep. And Lexi, what's the best way somebody can reach you?
So you can reach me by phone number or email. The phone number is 317-468-5284, and my email is lexi@monteithlegault.com.
All right. Thank you, Lexi.
Branch NMLS number 33041. Rick Ripma's NMLS number 6645890. Ian Arnold's NMLS number is 1995469. Equal housing opportunity. Some restrictions apply.